What is going on, YouTube? I am back, GP Reacts, back with another video. It's been about a month since I made my last video, which was a Linkin Park video. And before I start this, I want to tell you guys that I hope that you guys had a very special Thanksgiving break or weekend. If you're in school, a break. A very special time. I hope you got to spend time with your family, eat some good food. I know I did, maybe a little too much, but I hope that you guys are enjoying your weekend. Like I said, the last music video I did was a Linkin Park. It was pretty emotional. I don't want to do that again. I got a lot of requests to do more Linkin Park. Obviously, I'm pretty familiar with most of their stuff. Well, the stuff that they play on the radio anyways. So yeah, I'm going to do another Linkin Park one today. It's going to be Don't Stay. So this is going to be a little different. I told you I was going to do a reflection at some point instead of a reaction, because when I call songs that I'm familiar with reactions, people get upset with that. So this is going to be a reflection, and this is just because I know the song. Actually, I know it pretty well. It's actually, I probably listen to it maybe a couple times a week, and that's because it's in my gym playlist. So this is Don't Stay by Linkin Park. And yeah, I'm definitely familiar with this. I've been familiar with Linkin Park since they came out with, actually was released in 2000. It was Hybrid Theory, and they had, I mean, that thing over 10 times platinum, so extremely familiar. And that's kind of how it started, me being familiar with Linkin Park, listening to In the End. That was like their big song from that. And then later on, I listened to Crawling and a couple other songs off of that album. And then they dropped Meteora in 2003, and that had a ton of hits on it. One of them, which is Somewhere I Belong and Don't Stay. There's a lot of good songs on there. Not all of them are actually played on the radio. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into that video. Also, don't forget, subscribe. Leave me a comment. If you want something reacted to or reflected upon, let me know, and I'll do my best to get to it. Let's go. So for me, Linkin Park kind of like, I don't want to say revolutionized, but they kind of changed the direction that rock was going. In my opinion, anyways, they were kind of like the forefront of changing from what was then like, I don't know, it was like kind of grunge in the early mid '90s, and then it started to kind of hit towards alternative, and that's where I put Linkin Park into that category they kind of integrated more screaming into the metal and also some rap into it, so they kind of changed it for me anyways. They also have the turntables in the back scratching, so like I said, it kind of, and even like Limp Bizkit you can put in there. They're kind of like in that same genre, same style. Linkin Park, just in my opinion, just top of the game when you're talking about this kind of music.
Sometimes I need to remember just to breathe. Sometimes I need you to stay away from me.
So if you heard my other stuff, I talked about how I don't necessarily like a lot of screaming in my music. A little bit is okay, and I think they have a good balance of lyrics that you can understand, and the screaming. And the screaming is generally at appropriate times. So in this, like, for the lyrics here, sometimes I need to remember just to breathe. Sometimes I need you to stay away from me. So when I talk about reflections, and the reason that, because at this time in the late '90s, 2000s, for me anyways, I was into hip hop and rap and R&B. Like I didn't really listen to a lot of rock music at that point in my life. And then when this came out, like, I started to relate this kind of music to what was going on in my life. And at that point in my life, I was having a lot of issues, but this music really related to what was going on in my life, and specifically with me and my girlfriend. We just were not on the same page at all, and that's how I kind of fell in love with this kind of music.
Times I'm in disbelief, I didn't know. Somehow I need you to go. Don't stay. Forget our memories, forget our possibilities. What you were changing.
like that lyric there, just give me myself back and don't stay. And it was like, for me, I was like every other week, my girlfriend and I at the time were constantly fighting and breaking up. And it was like we were both controlling and trying to keep each other from hanging out with other friends. And I'm sure a lot of you guys can probably relate to that, and maybe not, but for me, that's where these lyrics really come in. And I just remember like listening to this. It came out in 2003. So in 2003, I would say for me, 2004, 2005 is when I started getting into Linkin Park, and kind of deep, diving into what they were saying. And I used to just be in the gym and just vibing and just like off in my own world. And like I said, this music really helped me a lot with my relationship as far as dealing with it, and not going insane and doing something stupid.
Memories, forget our possibilities. Take all your faithlessness with you. Just give me myself back and don't stay. Sometimes I feel like I trusted you too well. Sometimes I just feel like screaming at myself. Sometimes I'm in disbelief, I didn't know. Somehow I need to be alone.
So in that case there, sometimes I just feel like screaming at myself. I can't tell you how many times I would sit there and think how stupid I was for keeping myself in that situation or that relationship that I was in at the time, and singing that line and where he, screaming at myself, like, you're an idiot. What are you doing? Like, you're better than what you're doing. I don't ever want to go back there again, ever. And if you're going through that, find music to help you get through it, because music does wonders for sure.
Forget our memories, forget our possibilities. What you were changing me into. Just give me myself back and don't stay. Forget our memories, forget our possibilities. Take all your faithlessness with you. Just give me myself back and don't stay. I don't need you anymore. I don't want to be ignored. I don't need one more day of you wasting me away. I don't need you anymore. I don't want to be ignored. I don't need one more day of you wasting me away. With no apology, don't stay. Forget our memories, forget our possibilities. What you were changing me into. Just give me myself back and don't stay. Forget our memories, forget our possibilities. Take all your faithlessness with you. Just give me myself back and don't stay.
And I think that record scratching in the back adds to the, I mean, if it didn't have it in here, it would still be a great song, but it just, I don't know, it just makes it, it's kind of hard to explain, kind of a little more diversity in the music. And at the time is kind of, it kind of makes sense because of, like I said, the Linkin Park and then the Limp Bizkit and the Korn and that stuff. But the song is really short. It's only 3 minutes and 20 seconds. But I can't tell you how many times I've listened to the song, whether it's in the gym or driving, and where you, like I said, you're just zoning out and thinking about all the things that you've gone through. And I'm not saying that what was going on in my relationship wasn't my fault, because obviously, usually 50, at least 50% is to blame, and I'll take that, whatever. But like I said, this music really helped me get through a lot. And this is just one of their great songs on that album. That album is in my opinion, top 5 alternate rock albums for me anyways. And like I said, to this day, I still listen to it. Actually, I listened to Linkin Park today at the gym. It will always be a staple in my playlist. And I will always refer this to people who are, maybe going through some things. And like I said, you may not think it at the time, but music is definitely therapeutic. It can definitely help ease your mind. Of course, it can also aggravate, agitate, and make things worse. But if you use it the right way, it can definitely be beneficial. So yeah, great song, great band. Rest in peace to Chester Bennington. Definitely different from the last video I did of Linkin Park. Not emotional. This is more uplifting, upbeat, great workout song, and yeah, great song, staple in my my music library. Let me know what you guys think. Like, I'm gonna do more Linkin Park for sure, because Linkin Park is great. Also, some other early 2000 bands. So that's probably my favorite rock genre, is the early 2000s, the alternative rock, with like 3 Days Grace and Three Doors Down, and probably my favorite, just because, like I said, I can relate that a lot to what I was going through in my life. Audio Slave and Chris Cornell, and anything like that. If you guys want to hear that, leave a comment below, and I will definitely do my best to get to that, because that's really what I enjoy to listen to as far as rock is concerned. But like I said, have a great weekend. I'm going to try to get out a couple more videos this weekend for you guys. And let me know if you guys have suggestions. Leave me a comment. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like, and I will see you guys on the flip.